There is an intriguing report coming from a sports network that you really need to know about, featuring a new signing with interesting contractual details, as well as recent updates on the NFL schedule for the year 2025. All of this and more is included in this video. I appreciate everyone who is participating in the discussion and contributing in the comments section. All this interaction is wonderful. Speaking of the comments section, let's dive into this topic. The recent discussion about a player and his actual value has sparked various opinions regarding the investment's worth. From my perspective, the player signing was due to his remarkable efficiency. Efficiency evaluations are crucial for a coach who knows that he will be working with a limited number of targets, as all receivers will have their opportunities. Based on the comments that have come up, it is clear that the player truly deserves the investment. To maximize the deep passing game, the coach needs skilled players who can run routes. It is essential to recognize that the team missed this athlete during a considerable part of the previous season, highlighting the need for a player of his caliber. A receiver who stands out by beating defenders, someone the quarterback can trust. In 2023, the quarterback certainly felt comfortable throwing him the ball, creating an exceptional connection between them. However, the dynamic changed after his absence, and we expect him to return stronger after the injury, but we will have to wait to see how that unfolds. On the other hand, it was noted that the team faced difficulties, but no one criticized the team. When they began to show strong performances, some players started to express dissatisfaction about being on the team. I don't recall the player expressing a desire to leave. On the contrary, it seems that the team claimed he wasn't interested, but maybe you were referring to another athlete. During the winning streak, the team became quite competitive, but then discontent started emerging among some of the standout players. I don't remember the player indicating he didn't want to stay. On the contrary, it seemed more like a statement from the team claiming he wasn't interested, but perhaps you were referring to another player. In the days when we won titles, just like any successful team, we had solid offensive and defensive lines. If we focus on building those lines, it may not be necessary to allocate as many resources to skill positions, which I find interesting. It is a plausible view to suggest that by prioritizing the lines, everything tends to align, and there is some truth to this. However, when analyzing how the team is investing in the wide receiver position, I recognize that this is a specific area within skill positions, and considering other players, the situation becomes a little more complex in terms of skill positions. But let's consider the wide receiver group for a moment. Currently, the team ranks 19th in terms of financial investment in this position. If they opt to invest in a specific player, the dynamic would change considerably. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I believe the player has already received compensation and needs to prove his worth since we made this investment, and I sincerely hope he stays with the team. I think it would be beneficial for him to return to his form from 2023, which I believe is possible, but we will have to wait and see how things unfold. Technological advances in the healthcare sector have brought significant improvements. Let's talk about a specific player. There's an interesting article where an expert mentions a new athlete acquired by the team who fits better with the size parameters that might be sought. It was emphasized that, although he doesn't have the ideal size, he compensates with remarkable speed and unwavering bravery on every play. Now, stay tuned, because there is another athlete the team has recently signed who better fits the expected measurements. Martin also showed true instincts when pressuring the quarterback, accounting for 6 sacks. Although he was injured for most of the following season, his 140 tackles were the highest by any player in the university since 1984. After being chosen at position 75, Martin was questioned about his bold playing style and stated, "I'm persistent. I always look for the decisive hit, whether with a full effort or by penalizing an opponent with the ball, always finding ways to alter the course of a game. And I am explosive." We will have to wait and see how all this unfolds, both in training camp and the preseason, and soon after at the start of the season. However, it is believed that he will be an impactful element this season, being considered one of the key players who can make a difference, even coming from outside the first round. This is truly exciting. A new topic emerges with the signing of the undrafted linebacker, who couldn't attend the rookie minicamp due to his recent wedding. Significant moments for the university athlete. The team signed him to a 3-year contract with $92,000 in guarantees, which is a considerable amount for an undrafted player. This is a good contract, no doubt, a great deal for someone who wasn't selected. $92,000 is a significant sum for the guarantee of an undrafted player, and that alone is intriguing. What is the team thinking by betting on an undrafted athlete who missed the rookie minicamp opportunity and managed to secure a 3-year contract with such high guarantees? Although a 3-year contract is common, $92,000 in guarantees is a little more uncommon. This suggests a clear intention regarding the linebacker position. This athlete, in turn, is about 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighs around 230 pounds, which makes him a more appropriate fit. The team may have been impressed by his performance throughout the season, in which he had more than 14 tackles in 3 of the last 4 games. Instead of returning for his last year, he chose to enter the draft. His ability to always be near the ball should allow him to make a spot as a special teams player, an area where the team is looking for improvements. This helps clarify how they might plan his use. The debut season will effectively function as his last year. Thus, the team may see him as an evolving potential who aligns with their style and could contribute to special teams or defense in a year or two. The team has frequently been recognized for investing in linebacker projects that can add value to special teams. This is worth noting. Under the current management, several undrafted players have been included in the linebacker position. One example is an athlete who stood out. Perhaps he will become the successor to another player who is also undrafted. When analyzing the entire current linebacker roster, it's essential to notice how they integrate. The existing linebackers include other players facing crucial years, and there is high expectation for them to improve their performance. Recently, there has been talk about a player who, in my view, is going through a crucial year. I sincerely hope he can improve his performance. Other athletes are also being mentioned, including some who have been recently signed. An inspiring story involves a player who will undoubtedly make a difference on special teams. He is the athlete many are supporting, especially for having chosen to reject a guaranteed starter position to stay on his current team and learn from experienced players who have already left. I would really like to see him secure a spot on the team. It would be gratifying to see all his dedication and effort validated in his professional journey, although he needs to earn his place like everyone else. According to scouts, he has good instincts and discipline, reads plays effectively, and transforms them into actions, as well as being able to avoid blocks skillfully. He moves toward the ball with good control and is aware of return opportunities, showing good perception when covering passes and making zone drops. One concern I have regarding another player is the number of missed tackles he recorded, which varies depending on the reasons a player might fail a tackle. Although I recognize there are differences depending on the positions, what worries me is that his missed tackles don't seem to have the same causes. So, we will need to monitor how this situation develops. He managed to make some impressive tackles, but the primary concern raised by scouts revolve around his lack of consistency when making tackles. Therefore, we will be keeping an eye on this development. In addition, it was recently announced that the opening game of the season will feature a match between 2 teams, a matchup that doesn't excite me too much, while also marking the start of the season. This continues to unfold. Of course, I would like to explore one more aspect. The league revealed the first game of the season, with the opening bringing a matchup that, honestly, doesn't spark much interest for me, in addition to marking the start of the season. However, this made me reflect. We're just 2 days away from the excitement. How this works, for those who may not be familiar, is that all the announcements will start being revealed this week. Therefore, starting today, we can expect small updates over the next few days until Wednesday, when the full schedule will be presented, which will certainly be exciting. It is important to stay tuned because you won't want to miss any of this, as it promises to be quite interesting. For example, today, TV networks are expected to make their announcements. Tomorrow, ESPN will follow, with other platforms sharing updates on Wednesday morning, as the full schedule will be revealed Wednesday night. Also, regarding the international schedule, which will be announced tomorrow morning and promises to be interesting, there are 2 potential games that could impact a specific team. One will be against a team in England, and the other might take place in Germany. I believe this possibility is still open. Obviously, we have faced these teams, which justifies this connection. The important aspect I'll be watching as the schedule is revealed is how it is structured in terms of primetime games, as this usually has a significant impact on our rest differences. This is especially relevant because if we have additional games that result in shorter weeks, it can affect our performance, especially considering what happened in recent seasons, where the teams came off extended breaks or rest periods. This has not been favorable for the team, which, in recent years, has been among the teams with the most games played. In the last championships, the teams that the 49ers face often come from extended rest periods, which hasn't been particularly favorable for them. Since 2020, the team has been among the top 4 in primetime game rankings, tying for 3rd place. So, it will be interesting to watch how this situation develops. The condition of one of the opposing teams, for example, I still haven't fully understood. It's a fan base that, to be honest, doesn't make much sense to me. Assessing the teams the 49ers will face, some might be the only candidates for international games. Moreover, the team will have a significant number of home games that won't be changed. The 49ers will play at home for all their matchups this season. We also, of course, have the stadium well known to many where the matchups will take place. This brings me to an intriguing question I'd like to debate. The 49ers' schedule will be revealed soon, and many are wondering who would be an interesting opponent for the opening game. For me, the ideal answer would be the previously mentioned team, which would provide an excellent opener for several reasons. First of all, it's a moment that defines expectations, similar to what happened in a previous game. While many currently criticize this team, before that game, it seemed like it would be a major challenge. The feeling was that if the 49ers could win, they would be setting the tone for the season. It's true that we were considered favorites, but their defense was viewed as superior to ours, as well as their linebacker group. Their secondary was on par with ours. There were many doubts about this team, especially because many believed a key player would perform much better than he actually did. That said, I think the situation with the aforementioned team is similar because we know there was an improvement, at least on paper, during the offseason, and they're definitely a strong opponent. Therefore, it would be a great opportunity to get on the field and show our worth, as well as really assess our defensive line, for example. We are talking about a team we know has improved, at least in theory, and represents a considerable challenge, providing us with the opportunity to compete in a close game to assess how our defensive line compares to theirs. Not literally, but you get what I mean. There are many interesting parallels we can explore here. Seeing how we fare against their defense will be intriguing, especially in how our offensive line compares to their highly regarded young defensive line, which is among the best in the league and made up entirely of emerging talents. No doubt, there is much to be analyzed, and this opening game offers a promising scenario. It is a game we could easily lose. I won't pretend that victory is guaranteed. Looking at the matchup with the aforementioned team, we are seeking some kind of redemption for what happened last season, which we certainly deserve to claim. Regardless of the outcome, facing this team will set the tone for the entire season. A loss would reveal our current standing and highlight areas that need improvement, while a win would show that we still control the division, or at least should. The countdown has begun, and soon we will have news about the schedule. Stay tuned so you don't miss any updates. Thanks to everyone, and have an excellent night. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In the ever-vibrant world of NFL rumors, few statements spark as much conversation as a star player's personal preferences, especially when they involve refusing to wear the jersey of a top-tier franchise. According to recent buzz circulating through league insiders and fan chatter alike, Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill reportedly made a striking declaration when approached about a potential move to the San Francisco 49ers. He would never play for them. The alleged comment, which remains unconfirmed by Hill or his camp, has stirred a fresh round of debates among NFL enthusiasts and media outlets. While it's not uncommon for players to have strong preferences about where they want or don't want to play, A definitive statement like, "I would never play for the 49ers," adds fuel to the rivalry-driven fire that burns across NFL fan bases. Hill, known for his elite speed and game-breaking ability, has become a central figure in Miami's offensive resurgence. But before landing in South Florida, he was one of the hottest names on the trade market following his departure from the Kansas City Chiefs. Several teams were reportedly in the mix, and while the 49ers never confirmed official interest, the idea of pairing Hill with an offensive mastermind like Kyle Shanahan seemed enticing, at least on paper. So why the alleged disdain for the Niners? Some speculate it could be rooted in competitive animosity. Hill's Chiefs famously clashed with the 49ers in Super Bowl 54, where Hill played a key role in Kansas City's comeback win. Others believe it may be more personal, perhaps tied to organizational culture, geographical preferences, or past interactions behind the scenes. Whatever the reason, the remark, true or not, has struck a chord with fans. While the NFL landscape is filled with speculation, one thing is certain. Hill remains one of the league's most electrifying talents, and his opinions, rumored or real, carry weight. Whether his words were taken out of context or a genuine expression of his feelings, the supposed refusal adds yet another layer to the complex web of NFL rivalries and what truly drives player decisions in the modern era. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.